So that's it, nobody can do any more. Everyone's ready to go. Junior Rotax guys are out on track for heat number 1. And like I say, they'll put in a half lap warm-up and then they'll come across the start finish line in front of me for the rolling start. Into the race, into the 44 there, Stanley Curley you can see. So Ethan Critchley, Stanley Curley, Kai Pepperell, Ethan Cossins, James Finley, they're at the front. They're at the front of this heat. So they've all obviously been picked to start at the front in this one. They will get a middle and a rear as their 3 heats progress. And as we look down on the left hand side of the screen there, you can see Travis Rose, the 16 kart, Spencer Trahall, the 41 kart, Amelia Johnson, the 32. They will then get a start near the front of the front of the race as well. So everybody gets a fair crack at it. So here we go. Thank you very much for joining us. Really excited to be bringing you this today. Let's hope for some good racing. Just a bit of gesture in there from the 87 kart of Ethan Critchley. The guy's just steady down now. So they'll come across the start finish line. It's up to the driver on pole to dictate the start. Nobody can break track. You've got to stay in your line. So the left and the right, you've got to stay in that line until you cross that start finish line. That's key. So here we go for heat number 1 of round 1 of the Forest Edge Club Karting Championship as they race into that first corner into Haynes Loop. Round we go safely. That's what we want to see, everybody come through safely. It is the 97 of Max Lavelle that's got himself up to the front. Everybody gets through. Bound to be a little bit of contact. You can't odds that in these conditions. Oh, and we've got a spinner. Didn't quite see who that was, but it's the 36 kart there of Alex Roach that's got himself up to the front. From 83 of Lucas Nibbs. I think that was the 37 of Kai Pepperell as well. So you see them taking the curb there, nice tight as they come through. So it is 36, Alex Roach. He's got himself out front from Lucas Nibbs at the moment. And then it is the 37 of Kai Pepperell who's dropped down to 3rd. And safely navigate, bit of contact there, bound to get it, you're going to have it. Nice and tight from the guys as they come through for the first time, across the start finish line for the second lap. Just under a minute, the timing's there, just under 1 minute, which is probably about right in these conditions. 55.1 was the fastest time set by Alex Roach there. So Alex Roach out front from Lucas Nibbs, Kai Pepperell, James Finley, Max Lavelle, Daniel Barton, John Reynolds, Harry Pittman. They took the top 8 positions as they came across the start finish line for the first time. Alex Roach looking comfortable out front. 83 of Lucas Nibbs close behind. Yeah, you can see loads of curb, loads of air time there as they come through. Everybody following that same route at the minute, and what they're going to be looking to do is finding and following to try and get that as dry a track as possible. A little bit of a move there from Lucas Nibbs as he takes in the lead from Alex Roach. So an early move there. And again, it's difficult in these conditions. You get it slightly wrong, you're going to move off that racing line as they come across start finish line, as they go down into the Haynes Loop. And they'll come round into what is that tight lefter into Johnny's. Just a bit of a gap there now as they go down into Winger's Dip. Before taking a big right-hander that takes them back up the hill, through the bus stop and up into midgets at the top. So Lucas Nibbs out front. That's the 59 kart there. James Finley's got himself into the mix at the front as well now. Up in top. So just a small gap now at the top for Lucas Nibbs, James Finley there. Oh, and it's a spinner there. That is Alex Roach with a 360. Somebody else was involved as well as they came through. But over the start finish line, 4.5 minutes of this race gone, it is the 83 of Lucas Nibbs who now has stolen a bit of a lead over James Finley in second. Kai Pepperell third, Harrison Stacey fourth, Easton Hunt is fifth at the moment from Daniel Barton, Alexander Stephan, Travis Rose, Max Lavelle and Aaron Clark Nixon. They make up the top 10 as they make their way down into Winger's Dip again. And again, not too many coming off track, which is brilliant at the moment. Roach, unfortunately, he did put in a 360, and that will drop him down the order quite a way from where he was. Probably mid-pack, yeah, he's lost about 11, 12 places. I think he's dropped down into 13th, Alex Roach, after leading the race early on. But it is Lucas Nibbs, and he's got himself a nice gap now. Bit of breathing space, as you can see there on screen. Yeah, quite a nice gap there. 2.5 seconds just over to James Finley in second, from Kai Pepperell in third. About 3.5 minutes left on this race at the moment. Bit of action going on for third and fourth at the moment. A bit of a race between Kai Pepperell and Ethan Hunt as they go around Haynes Loop and into that tight left-hander at Johnny's. Down into Winger's Dip. But Lucas Nibbs really can just consolidate a little bit. He can race within himself at the moment. He's got that lead. There are some yellows out. Some has obviously come off at some point. I think we've got a kart stranded up near midgets at the top on the left-hand side. Some has come off as they've come through the bus stop potentially there. Try and pick up who that is in a moment. But there's about 2.5 minutes left on this race. All the drivers just settling down a little bit now. A bit of space out front there we can see for Lucas Nibbs from second place, which is still James Finley from Kai Pepperell, Ethan Hunt. Travis Rose moves up into 5th place. So yeah, Lucas Nibbs in the 83 car. He started in 8th position, so he's gained some good spaces there to move up to the front. 59 of James Finley. He started in where we are, fifth place on for the start of this heat, so he's done well to get up into second place as well. And Ethan Hunt, who's currently sat in third in the 23 car, he started in 25th. So there we go. There's the there's the main gainer from this first heat. It's exceptional to go through the pack up from the back into that third position. So 59 and 23 on screen there. That's the battle for second, third, and fourth. Pretty tight, that second, third, and fourth at the moment. Lucas Nibbs is out front. He's comfortable. He's got 3.5 second lead now. So with a couple of minutes left on this heat, he's pretty much got this one in the bag, barring any mechanical. Oh, we've got a spinner there as they came across the start-finish line. Just check my clock. Can't see quite the number that driver is there. Someone just took a spin as they came across the start-finish line. They've got it going back in a straight line. So pretty strung out now. Everyone getting around. Just trying to keep an eye out for Lucas Nibbs. He's out front 3.5 seconds, but then it is tight behind him with James Finley, Ethan Hunt, Travis Rose. Those guys are pretty tight. So here across the start-finish line comes the 83 of Lucas Nibbs, and again followed closely by James Finley, Ethan Hunt and Travis Rose. They're having a nice battle for second, third and fourth there. Then there's a bit of a gap to Kai Pepperell and Barton Stacey. They're battling for those 5th and 6th positions as they go through Johnny's down in to the Winger's Dip. That's the battle really. Lucas, the lead's been chopped a little bit down to 2.4 seconds. So they're just reeling in Lucas a little bit. And you know, 9 times if they're working together, and that'll be the driver to try and draw Lucas in, try and get some ground back up work together, rather than battling it out with each other for that second, third and fourth. But in these conditions, it's very difficult. It does throw a completely different driving process into the mix. There we can see James Finley, he's still holding on just there from Travis Rose. And he's made a move, Travis Rose, up the inside of James Finley. So a little bit of movement. Lucas Nibbs still out front from Travis Rose. James Finley, Ethan Hunt, Barton Stacey back into 5th. Kai Pepperell, Alexander, Stefan Hague, Pittman, Ethan Cossins, Daniel Barton, they make up the top 10. Oh, and we've got a spinner there just going off. And that was the 59. That was James Finley. Arm went in the air to gesture. I think he's very happy. Didn't quite see the contact, but just saw him going across track. So Lucas Nibbs goes through the bus stop. Just a 1.9 second lead now. With as we move on to that last lap. This is going to be the last lap after this. 1.9 seconds. Can Travis Rose in that second spot do anything about Lucas out front? Only time will tell. The last lap board is out, so 1 lap to go on heat number 1 of the Rotax Juniors, and it is still Lucas Nibbs, but there is a very small gap now to Travis Rose, 0.7 seconds. That's really been reeled in, and that was the checkered flag. That was the checkered flag. So Lucas Nibbs does take victory in heat number 1 of the Junior Rotax from Travis Rose, Ethan Hunt, Barton Stacey, Kai Pepperell in 5th, James Finley. I was unlucky in there, James up near the front till that spin. 21 of Alexander, Stefano, Harry Pittman, he's an 8th. Ethan Cosson's 9. And Aaron Clark-Nixon, he took in 10th position. So a couple of big movers in that heat. The 23 of Ethan Hunt, he was the one to shout out as he went from 25th. So there we go, there's the confirmed top 10. Lucas Nibbs, Travis Rose, Ethan Hunt, Harrison Stacey. That moved on quicker than I was looking at it there. Hopefully you saw that. And then there's our 11th through to 20th. Tyler Banks, Max Lavelle, Tyler Rackham, Elijah Douche, and then all the way down to that 25th car. So a good race to open up. There's obviously a few drivers sliding off. I think we've got a couple of karts stranded on track, so there will be a small delay before we move into our second race today, which will be the 177 Rotax and Masters. But yeah, we can see it on track. You're bound to get a bit of contact in these conditions. Everyone fighting and jostling for position early on. There we can just see someone spinning, coming off track. But that pack at the front, it was Ethan Hunt that worked his way through early on. Ethan, by this point in the heat, he got himself up into that top 10, and then he fought his way right up there into the mix to finish near the front of the order. That was the 36 kart there of Alex Roach going off, and then just a moment later you saw his hand come in the air to gesture. Wasn't very happy whether there was a bit of contact. You can see the track, the slide in there from left to right on that 16 kart of Travis Rose. So it is continually spitting. There is rain in the air. So as much as dry lines, potentially could appear because everyone's on that same part of the track, it's not going to happen while we've got that light drizzle, should we say. Whoa, and you can just see their big spin off. 3 heats that they all get over 4 heats. So everyone gets 3 heats spread out over the 4. So on the left hand side you can see the runners and riders in this Junior Rotax. So some may well be out for their second heat here. It might well be the first showing for some of them as well. So they'll get a combination of three heats over the 4 scheduled junior heats. So Lucas Esser, Zoe Catet, Max Lavelle, Spencer Trahorn, Theo Jones, Travis Rose, Daniel Barton, Alex Roach, Archie Cannon, Lucas Nibbs, Ethan Heat, Jesse Whitmore, Ethan Cossins, Jaden Shearing, Aaron Clark-Nixon, Harry Wright, James Finley, Arthur Way, John Reynolds, Mia Beckley, Tyler Rackham, Jack Wicks and Harrison Stacey. That is our lineup for this Heat 2 of the juniors. And again, we will see a couple of novice runners in this one as well. So I think it's going to be Oliver Warren and Riley Allen Hunt, I think. A warm-up lap. This is the second part. They'll cut the bus stop in half and come round onto the start-finish line. And it will be Lucas Esser, Max Lavelle. They will be the front 2 as we come over the start-finish line. 56 and 97 there we can see. So again, let's hope we get round safely. Everybody through. Whoa, the 11 kart there straight off the track. Here we go, the guys are on screen. That's the 97, that's Max Lavelle. Bouncing through the bus stop is Lucas Esser from Max Lavelle. Zoe Catet, I hope I'm saying Catet right. Start off in third, whether she's hold that. There's a lot of movement going on in that early lap. And I can just see the guys coming round, midgets at the top through Climate, then they'll come down into Tollies before that left-hander, before my screen will update. Still loads of movement, there's an undertaking going on. So it is the 97 of Max Lavelle out front from 41 Spencer Trahorn, and very well to get up into that position. Travis Rose, Lucas Esser, Zoe. Lucas dropped down a couple of places. Zoe Catet, Daniel Barton, Jesse Whitmore. So a bit of movement from that front pack as they come round for the first time down into Winger's Dip on this second lap of the race. Max Lavelle just looks like he's pulled out a bit of a gap there. Close racing 58 there of Daniel Barton, looking up the inside of the 56 of Luke Esser as they bounce their way through the bus stop. Everybody getting as close to over that curb as they can. They race up into midgets. And again, the front two just starting to pull away a tiny bit from the following four here. And definitely some more speed on track now. Can really see the speed difference from earlier on. That's definitely increased as the front two come over the start-finish line. And it's the 16 of Travis Rose who's got himself up there from now. Max Lavelle in second, Daniel Barton third, Jesse Whitmore fourth, and Spencer Trahorn in fifth. So the front two have just got themselves a bit of a gap. And then the following pack there is really condensed at the moment. And it is that 58 of Daniel Barton that's in there in third place at the moment from Jesse Whitmore. Oh, was that contact? Hand went in the air, slap of the steering wheel, possibly some contact there, and that was down in the Winger's dip. And we've got somebody off on the left hand side as we go up the hill as well. So a couple of cars just experiencing some problems in this one, as the race just getting a little bit strung out now for the front 4-5. Round Tollies though, entering the new lap, still the 16 of Travis Rose and the 97 of Max Lavelle as it's been from the start of the race. Big move of Jesse Whitmore up into thirds, 41 of Spencer Trahorn in fifth, Ethan Hunt in fifth at the moment. We go around the Haynes look down through Johnny's, down into the Winger's dip. Everybody passing through. Nice and safely, some good racing there in the middle of the order from some of those guys. That's good to see. A look up the inside there. Now it's the 56 of Lucas Esser there, just having a look. And a bit of a move up the inside. Bounce their way through the bus stop, up into the top. So there is a gap out front now for Travis Rose. He's got himself a bit of a lead from Max Lavelle. Jesse Whitmore, Spencer Trahorn. Jesse Whitmore in the 55. Here we go, across the start and finish line. That's the 97 there with Max Lavelle. He's in second at the moment from the 55 of Jesse Whitmore. So again, from my vantage point, I've got the screen and I've got the half the track in front of me, so I'm trying to keep an eye on both. Sometimes I'm commentating on what I can see in front of me rather than what's on the screen might be slightly different. There's so much action when we've got the 25, 26 karts on track. It does make it more interesting. There's a good move there up the inside of the 54. That was the 83, sorry, there, making the move, which is Lucas Nibbs. Just making that move up the inside of Jaden Shearing. The 11 of Mia Beckley just comes over the start-finish line in front of me, down in 25th position. But the 16 of Travis Rose, he's got himself a nice gap now from third, fourth and fifth, which is really tight at the moment between Max Lavelle, Jesse Whitmore and Spencer Trahorn. And there's the 46. Again, I've got a couple of random numbers on the side of karts. So I'll have to have a look on the nose to see who it is rather than the side as they come past me. So the yellow flags are out. We've got a couple of stranded karts on track, unfortunately. We've lost a couple of people. Hopefully they can get them moving again and roll back out onto the track. But Max Lavelle in second place. He was on the back wheel of Travis Rose for a little while there, but Travis has just managed to pull out a lead now, and he's got about a 5-second lead. And I think Max Lavelle has dropped down into third. I think Jesse Whitmore possibly got up into second place, but Max Lavelle looking back up the inside, and the 55 of Jesse Whitmore has followed. So it is Jesse Whitmore now coming through. Will be in third place here. Second place with Max Lavelle in third now. So a bit of movement there at the front. Spencer Trahorn with the 41. Ethan Hunt in fifth. Jaden Shear in sixth. Lucas Nibbs, Arthur Way has moved up, as has Ethan Cossons. Zoe Catet makes up our top 10. And that's our second, third and fourth battle right there on screen. So Travis Rose has checked out. He's about 7 seconds ahead. So he's got the race in the bag, barring anything mechanical or focus concentration wise. But this is the battle for second, third, fourth that we're witnessing here. Jesse Whitmore got up into second place from Max Lavelle, or Lavelle, one of the two, pronouncing that right. With Spencer Trahorn and Ethan Hunt in that mix as well. So as they come across the start finish line, the 55 still in second. 41 of Spencer Trahorn moves up past Max Lavelle, drops down into fourth place, was second for a while. He's just dropping down that order. Ethan Hunt has got that fifth place, and then it's pretty condensed from there from Jaden Shep. way. Ethan Cosson, Zoe Catet, Alex Roach, sorry. It's quite close there. But it is Travis Rose out front. Jesse Whitmore, that's the battle. That's Max Lavelle, the 97 there on screen. Currently holding 4th place, and we've got a grass cutter there. He was grass tracking there. Couldn't quite pick the number up as it went through. Possibly about marking up one of the front runners. It's a big move from the 23 Ethan Hunt there up on Max Lavelle. So Max has dropped another position. Ethan coming up. But Max not giving up. Looking back up the inside. But Ethan Hunt in the 23 has moved up. He's behind. From Spencer Trahorn, Ethan Hunt up into 4th. Max Lavelle now in the 5th position. With Jaden Shearing, Lucas Nibbs, Arthur Way. Arthur Way moves up past Lucas Nibbs into 7th position. We're going to got a 146 on the side of that car. Reed in the 146. That is Travis Rose. We've got 2 laps to go here probably now. We might see the last lap board come out when Travis crosses the start-finish line. And you can see on screen, it's a lonely battle out front he's got now. It's the battle with the elements as much as anything, and it is the last lap board, so we move into the last lap with our leader Travis Rose. He's out front. Took a while to get past Max Lavelle, did very well, got himself up into the lead. And it is still the 55 and 41 battling for second. So that's a real good battle we've got there at the moment between Jesse Whitmore and Spencer Trahorn, the 55 and 41 for 2nd and 3rd. That's That's Travis Rose with Travis Rose safely through the bus stop, and that's out front. I'm going to try and talk you through the battle that we've got for 2nd and 3rd, because it's a real close battle between Jesse Whitmore and Spencer Trahorn as they go through the bus stop up into midgets at the top. They're just at the top. Travis Rose is going to come around and take the checkered flag now. It's a victory for him. Excellent race, well done. The 2nd place, I think Jesse Whitmore just stamped the authority on that last lap over the 41 of Spencer Trahorn. Yeah, it will be the 55 of Jesse Whitmore in 2nd from the 41 of Spencer Trahorn. Ethan Hunt takes that 4th from Max Lavelle in 5th. So good end to the race. Travis Rose really stamps his authority on it. Pulled away, won by a good 9 seconds really there in the end. But it was a nice battle between Jesse Whitmore and Spencer Trahorn for 2nd and 3rd. Ethan Hunt got himself up ahead of Max Lavelle towards the end of that race. So what we're going to do, we're just going to try and go quiet for a 30 seconds to a minute just to have a look at a couple of glitches. So we aren't going anywhere, but we'll be gone for about 60 seconds. So hopefully you can hear me again. Hopefully I'm back online. Thank you for your patience there, just while we pulled a couple of plugs, just tried to dry out a couple of bits on a couple of bits of equipment. Hopefully it makes a difference and we lose that little bit of interference that we've had. So we've got the rescue truck out on track now. This is just a bit of a replay of the race that we've just seen, which was a good win for Travis Rose, who gained 6 places during that race, and Jesse Whitmore, the 55 car, gained 11 places, working way up through the field to get into that 2nd place. Spencer Trahorn started 4th, finished 3rd. Ethan Hunt, he gained 8 places to move up into the top 4. Max Lavelle only lost a couple of places, was battling really well at the front there for the majority of that race. Ended up in 5th place overall. And then some big movers, 9 for Jaden Shearing, up 9 places. Arthur Way was up 12 places. Ethan Cosson 6. And the big losers, unfortunately, down in the bottom end. If you spin, you're doomed. Really, you've lost your places, and that was Alex Roach and Lucas Esser. They both dropped down 10 and 19 places respectively, but still got out, still finished the race, still managed to cross that line. So we've just got the rescue truck out now, just bringing somebody back in. That's just a bit of a replay of some of the action we saw in that race. We've got that many drivers, they're split out over 4 heats, and they'll all race in 3 of those 4. So again, if you're looking at screen and you're like, I can't see such and such, it might be because this is the one heat that they miss out on. But again, everyone's going to get the 3 heats. So in this heat we are going to see, let me run through this nice and quickly for you. Harrison Stacey, Jesse Whitmore, Tyler Rackham, Tyler Banks, Jack Wicks, Jensen Collins, John Reynolds, Jaden Shearing, Kai Pepperall, Mia Beckley, Zoe Catet, Arthur Way, Amelia Johnson, Travis Rose, Elijah Douche, Harry Wright, Ethan Critchley, Alexander Stefanov, Lucas Nibbs, Harry Pittman, Alex Roach, Cruz Strachan in the 46, Archie Cannon, Lucas Esser, Max Lavelle, and then our 3 novices in this race that will start from the back are Aaron Maidman, Alexander Lecheshki, and Riley Allen Hunt. So the guys will just take another half lap just to get in formation, ready for this rolling start. So a come on Jackson and a come on Harvey Ball. So let's see what these guys can produce. It was a good first junior heat that we saw. And again, you can see the track drying out on screen. You can see that as the guys are coming around now. So we are going to get starters and we are off and we are racing. And it's a hectic first run down into the Haynes Loop. Somebody's off, that's a shame. We've lost somebody early doors there, but they have kept it running, but they will join at the back. We do have a spinner at the back as well. Everyone else safely through, everyone jostling for position. Really hard to keep order on this one from the outset. Is that the 91 car, I think, there? We just keep an eye. I'll keep an eye on these guys. Let's get them through the first lap. They'll come up through midgets. They'll come down through climate into that lefter in Tollies to take the start finish line for the first time, and then we'll have some runners and riders and we'll know where we're at. So it is the 55 of Jesse Whitmore from the 54 of Jaden Shearing, Arthur Way, Jensen Collins, John Reynolds, Jack Wicks, Zoe Catet, Amelia Johnson, Kai Pepperall and Harry Wright. Ethan Critchley just on the cusp of that top 10. As the guys come through, they take through Johnny's down into the Wingers Dip. Everybody getting through. Bit of movement there, nice undertake from the 87 kart there of Ethan Critchley. Nice move to gain a couple of positions. The leaders are up at midgets and they're coming down into climate, and it does look like Jesse Whitmore in the 55. Oh, I was just about to say has really done well, but wide and onto the grass, back on into second place. Didn't catch that on screen, and that gave Jaden Shearing the opportunity to get up into first. Jesse Whitmore just with a bit of mistake onto the grass to lose first place, but held onto it. But Arthur Way, Jensen Collins, Jack Wicks are on the tailpipe. They are chasing hard as they go down into Wingers Dip. The right-hander to come back up the hill as they get some speed up before they hit the bus stop, and they'll come through the bus stop. So a little bit of a gap for Jaden Shearing now out front in the 54, and then second, third and fourth, Jesse Whitmore, Arthur Way and Jensen Collins. They've got a little battle between themselves for that second to fourth position, and then there's a bit of a gap down to fifth. But Jaden Shearing's done very well to get himself up into top spot, leading the way as we speak. 6 places gained. Jesse Whitmore dropped down the one, was leading the race, but a bit of a mistake at the end of that lap, saw drop down, and I think another mistake, is that not? Somebody just going wide there. So again, the big winners at the minute. Arthur Way has gone up 13 places into that third place spot, which is a phenomenal opening couple of laps. 6 places for Jaden Shearing to take him into top spot. A couple of places for Jensen Collins, a couple of places for John Reynolds, Zoe Catet, Harry Wright. They've both gained 7 places. Travis Rose is a couple. Ethan Critchley 7 places, as is Alexander Stefanov. And then down Max Lavelle, he's gained 9. Cruz Strachan 7. So lots of overtaking in this one. As we come across the start-finish line, Jesse Whitmore up into the lead from Arthur Way, Jensen Collins, Jaden Shearing must have made a mistake somewhere. And again, this is the challenge we've got is either A, focusing somebody, going wide again there, is focusing on one set of drivers or trying to get everybody on screen. You're going to miss something at some point, and we've missed Jaden Shearing dropping down from first to fourth, giving Jesse Whitmore Arthur Way, who's the big winner in this at the minute. 14 places gained to get up into second place. I'm sure we'll see Jesse, Arthur and Jensen, Jaden, those front four on screen in a minute as we just watch everybody coming through the bus stop there. But just in front of me, I am going to see the leaders come through now, which is the 55 of Jesse. There we go, Jesse Whitmore from Arthur Way, Jensen Collins, Jaden Shearing, Jack Wicks, Zoe Catet, Travis Rose, Kai Pepperell, Ethan Critchley and John Reynolds. That is your top 10. Alexander Stefanov moving up into that top 10 from John Reynolds, just pipping that 10th spot. So we have 3 minutes plus that lap on the race to go still. On screen you're looking at your leader, 55, Jesse Whitmore, coming through the bus stop, closely chased by Arthur Way. Then comes Jensen Collins, Jaden Shearing, the orange helmet there of number 50, Jack Wicks. So they've gone through midgets. There is probably 30 seconds or so between each driver. So they're not on top of each other, but the front five have pulled away, which you will see now. That's Jesse Whitmore, that's Arthur Way, that's Jensen Collins in the 66, Jaden Shearing in the 54th, and here's the orange helmet of Jack Wicks in 5th place. Down to 16th, it's Travis Rose, sorry, 16th plate of Travis Rose in 6th place. So there are some battles going on further down the track, which we'll try and pick up on, because at the minute those front five, there's a second or about a second between each of them, as you can see on screen there. Just looking down the order, some big wins. Crew Strack and Max Lavelle, they both gained 12 places to get up to 12 and 13 respectively. Ethan Critchley into 9th. Alexander Stefanov 9 places into 10th. Some big winners down the order that we're not necessarily seeing on camera, but they are doing very well on track. We've got about a minute, a couple of minutes. There is a yellow flag out. Somebody has spun off at Haynes Loop. There's a white helmet driver. I'll try and see if we can see the head back. Frustration. Let's see if we can see who that is. And again, we don't always get... Yeah, I can't see the close-up, unfortunately. So the track is pretty much covered now with drivers. From front to back, start to finish, we've got drivers everywhere. So we're just going to try and keep tabs on it for you. What I can see going through midgets at the moment down into climate is those front drivers. There's the 97. The 97 of Max Lavelle there, battling away on screen. A nice move there up the inside. That is the 69, I think, and 97 battling away of Max Lavelle and Elijah Douche. Nice bit of action from them two, caught on camera. Yeah, 69 as they come through. They come through in the middle of the pack, really. That the front runners are away. Jesse Whitmore, Arthur Way, Jensen Collins, Jaden Shearing and Jack Wicks. They've pulled away. They've got a bit of a gap. But the track is literally covered. There's some nice coverage there of Zoe Catet in the 67 car. 69. It's coming by. As they come through the bus stop. So, Jesse Whitmore, I know, has just gone underneath me again. From Arthur Way, first and second. Jensen Collins is still third. 54 of Jaden Shearing is 4th, Jack Wicks is 5th, the 16 of Travis Rose is 6th, Kai Pepperell 7th, Zoe Catet is in 8th, Alexander Stefanov 9th, and Elijah Douche has got up to 10th. Max Lavelle, that battle there was 11th, so they're on the cusp of the top 10 with a couple of laps to go in this race. There's still some positions to be gained, but again, everyone's just accumulating points. Top 26 from the juniors after the 3 heats go straight through to the final. Everyone else is battling in the B final to get into the top 4 to make the back end of the A final. So there will be a race on here. Last lap for Jesse Whitmore. Arthur Way not that far behind in second place. Jensen Collins in third in the 66. Jaden Shearing, and then 16 and 54. Very close between Jaden Shearing and Travis Rose. They've actually swapped places as they go into the last lap. So there is a race on for those kind of minor top end places. But I don't think we're going to see a change in Jesse Whitmore or Arthur Way out front. That's the 47 on screen of Arthur Way. He's in second place as we speak, and that looks like it's going to be where he's going to finish. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on our second place kart there, 47. Jesse Whitmore is out front and will be coming across now for the checkered flag. The 55, Jesse Whitmore. Arthur Way in second. Well done, great race for him. 66 of Jensen Collins. Jack Wicks picks up the 4th place. Excuse me. And then Travis Rose, Jack Wicks, Travis Rose, Kai Pepper all done very well there to get above Jaden Sheeran on that last lap as well. Zoe Catet in the top 10 along with Alexander Stefanov and Elijah Deuce. Max Lavelle just missing out on that top 10 finish. So some good action there. The big winners at the front. Jesse Whitmore with the win and 14 places gained from Arthur Way up into 2nd place. 10 places from Alexander Stefanov up into 9th place. There's your top 10 as we've already run through. Cruz Strachan went up 10 places into 14th. Great return there. Archie Cannon gained 6 places up into 15th. Maybe your big movers. Max Lavelle up 14th into 11th. So some good racing there from the juniors. And again, all picking up some good points. As I think we might well be heading into a short break. So we end on the juniors, heat number 3. That's the 45 kart there of Riley Allen Hunt that just needs to be rescued. So a terrific race, well done to those guys out front. Lots of positions gained. Jesse Whitmore got into the lead. And there's some nice action there on track. You can see the track drying out now, which is really good. Hopefully this rain has gone. Hopefully the forecast will say it's moved over and the drivers now know that the vast majority of this track is going to remain dry for the rest of the day. That would be brilliant. So yeah, a couple of grass track in there. It's just tough. You're jostling for positions, and sometimes if you move off that dry line onto the wet, it does just catch you out and will just send you past the corner. And again, these guys have all got nose cones. Those nose can't get pressed in. You get a penalty if your nose cone gets pressed in. There was a couple of close racing incidents within that one, but I don't think, just trying to refresh my feed, yeah, there was quite a few warnings for contact, but there was no nose cone issues in that one, which carries quite a big penalty. But some brilliant action on track. So that is our morning of racing complete. Thank you for bearing with us while we had those few little tech issues, which we're going to try and work on over the lunch break. So again, they get to put in a couple of half laps where they will endeavour to warm up those tyres. So they'll all know, and again we're learning as we're going here. So what I ideally would like to have is something that tells me now what the points have scored have been up until this point. I dare say I might have had a chance to look at it if we weren't busy during the break. But in future, what we would like to have at our disposal now is me being able to say, right, in this heat, let's pick Mia Beckley as an example. It's currently scored X amount of points. To reach the final, this is what she's going to need to try and achieve. So that's what we want to try and bring you in the future. We'll do our best to again put that into place for the next heat. We're working as we go, and they're going to do another half lap here. Not quite ready to start. The flags come out, so that's not started as yet. We'll come back around. Come back around again, and we'll try. Trying to get a start on. So what we do know is that Jesse Whitmore won the last race. Excuse me. Previous to that, Travis Rose won heats 1 and 2. And then filled in with a 10th place position in the 3rd heat. So he's done very well. Right, we are off and racing. Here we go now. As they go down into Haynes Loop for the first time. And again, we just want to see everybody get round there. Nice, clean, and it looks like Elijah Douche has just got wheels in line to get out front. Yeah, it looks that way. Is that Ethan Hunt there in 2nd or 3rd, and that's Arthur Way as well. Had a decent race last time out. 21 Alexander Stefanov is in the mix there as well. So as they come up through the bus stop, they'll head up into midgets for the first time, round into Climate, which is the right-hander, and they'll take the left, tight left-hander that brings you back through Tollies onto the start-finish line. And then we will be into lap number 2, and it is the 69 and the 23 of Elijah Douche and Ethan Hunt. Arthur Way has picked up 3rd place. Alexander Stefanov has got the 4th. They all race down into Haynes Loop again. There's a lot of speed carried down into there. They go from outside to inside. A couple of drivers just trying to drive quite narrow into Haynes Loop. I don't think that necessarily works when anybody on the outside run is carrying more speed. So the guys in front, so we should look at these two now. This is the 69 and 23 of disaster at the bus stop there, literally through the bus stop for Elijah. So Elijah and Ethan and Arthur, to a degree, they should be working together here because they're the three out front. They've got a small gap to fourth place, which is Alexander Stefanov. So if you work together and pull away and don't battle it out, if you start to battle it out, that is when others get the opportunity to reel you in a little bit, and you can invite people into your leading pack. So they need to be clever here and work together rather than battle. Otherwise the drivers, because there's not a lot of gap between everybody at the minute, but it is Elijah Douche, Ethan Hunt, Arthur Way and Alexander Stefanov. That's that front four. They're leading the way at the minute as they've gone down into Winges. They've come up through Winges. They're going to hit the bus stop now, and there's a 3, 4, 5. It's really tight. It's really tight. We're going to have a lot of action going on here at the front of the grid. We'll try and keep as close a tab on it as we can. We're going to there's the 44, that's a shame. That's Stanley Kearley, he's off, he's out of the race by the look of it. So as they come around, Tolly's back into the start-finish line again underneath me. What we're going to see now is the 23 of Ethan Hunt taking the lead from Arthur Way. Alexander Stefanov, Elijah Douche has gone from the front to 4, but still in the mix. There's nothing to throw, there's nothing to put between those front 5 or 6. And then there is a tiny gap to Aaron Clark-Nixon in 7th, but that front 5 or 6 are really starting to work together, you would think, as they come up through the bus stop here. Front 2 Arthur Way's in 2nd place at the moment from Ethan Hunt out the front, and then it's Arne Stefanov, Elijah Douche, James Finley. That's that front pack. If they're clever, they work together, you pull away. If you battle it out, you invite others into your little group. So they could be clever. Let's see how they do. The track is still dry, we're still dry in the air. There's no rain at the minute. It has clouded over again, so that may well affect as the afternoon ticks by, but for this race at the minute the track is pretty dry and they can race with a lot more confidence than they were earlier on. The times have come down to the 42s now, so we've got some good lap times coming in from these guys. And let's just give a couple of shout outs in the middle of the order, the guys that we're not necessarily seeing on screen. That's the 61 and 41 there, Spencer Trahorn and Elijah Douche there in the mix out the front, but running down the order a little bit. I mean, Ethan Critchley, he's in 10th, in 11th, he's gained 11 places. Kai Pepperell, he's also gained 11 places up to 12, so they're good point scoring positions. Daniel Barton, he's gone up 7 places into 14. There's plenty of activity in the middle of the grid as well, but it is these guys out front that are just starting to pull away and creating that space. So you can see him on screen again there. That's the front 2, Ethan Hunt, Arthur Way, Alexander Stefanov, Elijah Douche, Spencer Trahorn, James Finley. That's the top 6, and they are through Winges Dip. Now they'll come up into the bus stop, so it just means a little bit on the off the gas, then back on the gas as they go through, and then flat out up into Midgets at the top, into that right-hander, and then down into Climate where they've got another right-hander, and then it's really careful preparation to turn into the left-hander Tollies that brings you into the start-finish line. And Ethan Hunt and Arthur Way are starting to pull away just a tiny bit now from that chasing pack of 4 or 5 cars, which is Spencer Trahorn, Alexander Stefanov, Elijah Douche and James Finley. So they seem to be in, maybe they're working as a pair now. Arthur Way just tucked in behind Ethan Hunt. From Alexander, Spencer, Elijah, James and Aaron. And just looking a little bit further down, Jaden up into 8th, Jesse Whitmore 9th, had a race win last time out. Ethan Critchley up to 10th, Theo Jones, no, that's flipped to 21st, yeah, Kai Pepperell 11, Jensen Collins 12, Tyler Banks in 13. So those guys are all starting to try and get up above the driver in front just to get a few more points out of the race. But at the moment we are concentrating on that front 2 because that's the battle, that's the race, and there's not a lot of room. It does just look like Spencer Trahorn is just starting to reel them in and get on the back of them as well. So we've got the front 3, Ethan Hunt, Arthur Way, Spencer Trahorn, then we've got about a second gap down to Alexander Stefanov, Elijah Douche and James Finley, and that's the chasing pack. They're in 4th to 6th at the minute, so we've got 2 intriguing little battles at the front. A little look over the shoulder from all 3, a little flick of the fingers to say let's just get driving forward, let's race forward. But fair play to Spencer Trahorn because he has caught up and he has got on the back now of Arthur Way, you can see there. So those 3 are really pushing away from those 3. There's about a second gap, I would say, to 4th place. So there's a bit of a move coming up the inside there, nicely done from Spencer Trahorn as he moves past Arthur Way into 2nd place. Calculated move. Made sure there was enough room. You can't just go through a gap that isn't there, but if the driver in front just leaves that little bit of an opportunity, you've got to be in a position to take it, which Spencer was there, well done him. That means he's the man now chasing Ethan out front. But Arthur, he's still in that front three, and he's still on the back wheel of these two. So a good race out front. We're going to see the last lap board when Ethan and Spencer come round, and Arthur will see that last lap board. Back marker just gets out of the way, well done. Give 44 a shout out there. That's Stanley Curley, who was in the pits. Curley, he got out of the way brilliantly there, so he's done really well. Blue flags flashing for him, and a bit of movement out the front, and it does look now like Arthur Way, is he going to move up into second, or can Ethan hold on to that second place? But the lead for the first time, yeah, that's Arthur. That's 23 there. So Arthur is in third from 23. Spencer. Lead changing hands on that last lap. They're all in good point scoring positions. That's what they've got to remember. This is a good place to be. You don't have to knock your pan out. You've probably already got points in the bank, and these three have done really well. So off of that last corner, it is going to be a win at the last knock-ins for Spencer Trahorn. Done really well. Bided his time, got himself up into that pack three, into second, into first. From Ethan Hunt, Arthur Way, Elijah Douche, Alexander Stefanov, James Finley, Jesse Whitmore, Kai Pepperell, Jaden Sheeran, Ethan Critchley, they make up the top 10. So a good race out front, a nice close battle with those three, and then there was a separate battle which we didn't really, there wasn't much positional change between Elijah, Alexander and James, but they were all putting it to each other to try and get that 4th, 5th and 6th respectively. So that's the junior heats done. So admin team behind the scenes, they'll be working out the finishing order now from top to bottom. Because what we will see is the top 26 go directly through to the Junior A final, and then everybody else will go into the B final, and they will then all be fighting for those top 4 positions to qualify for the back of the A final. So that will give a different spin on what we've seen so far, a bit of a different edge to the racing. Spencer Trahorn, 18 places gained in that heat, 10 out of 10 for that. A little bit further down the order, Jesse Whitmore 17 places, Kai Pepperell 15, Ethan Critchley 12, really working their way through the field. A couple of warnings for Arthur Way, but only a contact warning, and Jaden Sheeran as well, just contact. So no, only a small slap on the wrist. So some good racing. Caught what was going on out front there. I think that's the finger. Let's go. You see that, them working together there. That was when Elijah Douche was in the mix early on. Eventually Elijah got swallowed up, ended up 4th, so a decent race, but just lost contact with that front 3 as the race developed. You can see switching from outside to inside at Arthur Way there. Great move. Calculated again, saw that there was a gap, put his foot in there, foot down, and got in that gap. So some terrific racing, great stuff from the juniors. Next time we will see them will be for the B final. So now we are going to move on to the Rotax 177s, the Masters. And we've got to change to the running order. Just as I was going to say. So, let's have a look quickly. So what are we going to see now then? We're going to see the supercarts first, is that right? So Junior B first, and then the supercarts. Wonderful, that's where I was at before, and I'm back there again. So let's have a look who we got in this lineup. So these guys have all just missed out on the opportunity to make that A final. So what they're all gunning for now, points have been scored, we're into the final, into the important bit of the afternoon. So what these 11 drivers are trying to do is get into that top 4 to get onto the back of the grid for the A final. So it's a chance to get an extra race out of your day and get into that A final. That's the goal, that's the driver. So Alex, so these will be gridded in terms of the points they scored in the heats. Alex Roach, Amelia Johnson, Stanley Curley, Lucas Esser, Theo Jones, Riley Allen Hunt, Aaron Maidman, Mia Beckley, Crew Strachan, Oliver Warren and Alexander Lecheski. So are we off? We're 6 minutes and we're off, we're racing. Let's have a look who's managed to, there's a spinner early on, that's such a shame. Come round, it looks like plenty of movement, bit of contact there with a couple of the guys as they came through. As they come up, they'll have to take through the bus stop. Back in action as they come up towards midgets. Less curb you can see from these guys in this one as they go up through midgets. Bit of contact there, all wide line, someone off the track. You can pick up who that is as they come back down towards me now. So we're settled. Hectic first lap, but we are settled as we move into lap 2. And it is the 32 of Amelia Johnson out front from Lucas Esser, Stanley Curley, Alex Roach, Theo Jones, Alexander Lecheski, Cruz Strachan up into 7th, Aaron Maidman, Oliver Warren, Riley Allen Hunt, and Mia Beckley unfortunately had that spin right at the start before the Haynes loop. So just looking up the inside, a bit of movement there. That's a nice clean pass overtake, and that's probably going to offer the just flicked away, probably offer the opportunity to the driver in second to move through there as well. But it is Amelia Johnson who has a bit of a gap already. But what you're trying to look for here is the front 4. That's what's important. Yes, you want to win it, of course you do. Front 4 is the key. So Amelia Johnson just wants to get the head down and disappear. I've been saying Amelia, it might be Amelie. So if I've been saying your name wrong, I do apologise. But you are out front and you are winning from Luke Esser, Stanley Curley and Alex Roach. That's the front 4. That's the key at the moment. We have a 95 novice plate of Alexander Lecheski in 5th position. Can he get in amongst that top 4? That's the key. Got the front 2 there. They would be feeling pretty comfortable at this moment in time. But if you're in 3rd or 4th here, you have 5th and 6th all over you. Now they could just again work together here. Drive sensible, drive clever. So it's still the 32 of Amelie Johnson from Lucas Esser, Stanley Curley, and there's the 95 of Alexander Lecheski up into 4th. Tight going around Haynes Loop. Bit of contact, that's going to get really congested in there. The 46 almost on track of Cruz Strachan and is off track. Cruz Strachan comes off. Big moment there as they came round the Haynes Loop. It was kind of 4 into 1. One just didn't go, unfortunately. So the front 2 have now pulled away. So Amelie Johnson out front, Lucas Esser second. They looking comfortable. It's a shorter race, this one. There's 6 minutes, there's 3 minutes to go. But then we have a 3-way fight for the final 2 places, it would seem. And we have got currently the 44 car of Stanley Curley in 3rd. Alexander Lecheski looking a big move up the inside there. 3 abreast as they come round, and that's really tight. Contact from all 3. And the 44 of Stanley Curley goes across track, bit of grass tracking, and that might well have killed the race. Okay, so hectic going down there towards the wingers, the Wingers dip, back up through the bus stop. So let's just have a look. The front 2 just need to be calm here. It makes no difference. You're going to be starting side by side in that at the back of the A final. Work together, pull away. Amelie Johnson and Lucas Esser, you've got it in the bag as long as you work together. And now there is only 2. Alexander Lecheski's moved up into 3rd and Alex Roach 4th. Fortunately for Stanley Curley, who was in the mix, just was the unfortunate recipient of all that contact. But there may well be a penalty or some warnings coming off the back of that. I don't know. Might be a contact warning in there, but we'll see. I think it looked to me like it was just racing incident, 3 into 1, and somebody has to end up getting the short end of the stick. So the way it's looking now out on track, the front 2 are pulling away. That is who you can see on screen now. But there's a change in positions. Lucas Esser comes through in to take the lead from Amelie Johnson, with Alexander Lecheski in 3rd, Alex Roach 4th, and then we do have a couple of second gap to Alex Roach. So it looks like the race could well be, with a couple of laps to go, a couple of minutes to go, could well be in the bag for the front 4. They will be the big winners, the recipient of that movement from this final up into the A final. So they will join the back of the grid for the A final. It's not straight away, it's a bit later on, but they'll get another run, another go at it. And if anything, the front 4 are getting a little bit closer with a minute and a lap to go. But they can just all sit comfortable pretty much. No great achievement from trying to get yourself up into a from 4th to 3rd or 3rd to 2nd. 2nd to 1st maybe, because it's always nice to win. Always nice to cross the line first. But these 4 have kind of got it in the bag. So Lucas Esser, Amelie Johnson, Alexander Lecheski, Alex Roach, that's your top 4. Stanley Curley, Aaron Maidman, Riley Allen Hunt, Oliver Warren, Cruz Strachan, Mia Beckley and Theo Jones will unfortunately miss out on the A final today. Unless anything happens to the front 4, who are starting to just bunch a tiny bit. They are starting to get close. are going to get 2 laps out of this, I think. Yeah, we're going to have 2 laps to go here. We've still got 20 seconds on the clock as they cross the start-finish line, all 4 on top of each other. As long as they will know that top 4 is all you need, you'll be okay. But they've got 2 laps to do it. It does give Stanley Curley 2 laps to try and reel them in. Hope that somebody might take a wide corner, do a bit of grass tracking, because they are all over each other. There's no need for this. They can just all settle down, race together, pull away. No real benefit. So 2 laps to go. Looking pretty comfortable for the front 4. Alex Roach, he's the one that could, Stanley Curley, he's the one that could benefit if anything does happen. And they're still fighting the front 4. They're still fighting for those positions. I guess a race is a racer. As soon as the helmet goes on, you don't want to get beaten by anybody. That seems to be what's going on here. And with a lap to go, their battling and fighting won't allow Stanley to catch up with Alex. But you never know, there might be a tiny bit of contact, something you don't want to happen as they come up through the bus stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, safely through. They're catching up to, I think it's Theo Jones they're catching up to, or Mia Beckley, but they won't catch up completely. There's enough time. I think it's Mia Beckley there in the 11 kart. So the front 4, as it has been, they have battled away with themselves, and they're still doing it going into the last corner. Race is a racer. Alex Roach does move up into 3rd place ahead of Alexander Lecheski. But it's those 4, Lucas Esser, Mila Johnson, Alex Roach and Alex Lecheski, that move on to the A final. Congratulations to them. And a shout out to Stanley Curley, Riley Allen Hunt, Aaron Maidman, Oliver Warren, Cruz Strachan, Mia Beckley and Theo Jones for giving us some really good racing today. Hope you've all enjoyed your day. You've given me something to shout about, talk about and enjoy, as you have our YouTube watchers at home. So we will see, obviously, the A main final as I think it's possibly our last one on track. Yeah, the A final will be our final heat of the day. So those guys have got the next 3 or 4 races, 5 races, just to relax. Yeah, that was that slip there right at the start, that spin, cost dearly. And again, at this point they're all in the mix. At this point any of them could reach that top 4. So the jostling and the fighting for position, nice undertake. Yeah, that's a nice move, and that allowed a couple of karts also to get through. The 44 kart there of Stanley Curley, he was a big loser in that because he was doing so well, and then we had a 3-way fight coming around Haynes Loop, and it was Stanley that just ended up on the wrong end of that. Bit of grouse, the end really of Cruz Strachan's battle for the win, and this was the incident. So 3 really tight, there's a bit of movement across the board, and Stanley just came from inside to outside and couldn't stop himself from kissing the curb and getting onto the grass, and that just killed the speed. Did well to get back on and get back in within touching distance. And we have a race out front like we've just had there. We've got to stick with that main pack. But again, appreciate the feedback, thank you. We will feed it as the team. We will talk about this later on when we have our debrief, and we'll make sure that we review everything that's come in. And we do take it on board, and we will look at what we can do to change and give you the best possible product. So we are on to our Junior A's. Junior Rotax, this is the A final. Jesse Whitmore on pole, Travis Rose in second, Arthur Way, Kai Pepperell, Jaden Sheeran, Elijah Douche, Max DeVell, James Finley, Spencer Trahorn, Lucas Nibbs, Harrison Stacey, Aaron Clark, they make up the top 12. Then comes Ethan Cossens, Ethan Hunt, Zoe Catet, Jack Wicks, Ethan Critchley, Alexander Stefanov, Archie Cannon, Jensen Collins, Daniel Barton, they make up the top 20. Harry Pittman, Harry Wright, Tyler Banks, Tyler Rackham, John Reynolds, Amelia Johnson, Alex Roach and Alexander Lecheski. And of course those 3 guys, I think we're going to go around, sorry, those 4 guys, we're going to go around again, which is good, because those 4 guys from John Reynolds back, they all qualified from that B final onto the back of the grid here. And our one novice driver that has qualified into the A final is Alexander Lecheski, so a big shout out to him. He's done well there to make it through to the A final. Congratulations to all those guys that didn't make the A final today, but round 2 will give you another shot at it. So the guys will just come round, they'll cut off the bus stop, they'll come under our noses across this start finish line. for this Junior Rotax A final, last race of the day. You can just see the guys there trying to get some warmth in the tyres. Jesse Whitmore out front from Travis Rose, Arthur Wade, Kite Pepperell, Jaden Shearing and Elijah Douche. That's your top 6 as they come through. Will we get a clean start? Lights go off, and we do as we race into that first turn. It is those two, Jesse Whitmore and Travis Rose. A little bit of grass tracking back down the order, but the main front 7 or 8 have all got through. There's a three abreast there. Is that Arthur Wade that's come up into second? No, back underneath. I think came Travis Rose there as they go down into that bottom corner. Yeah, Arthur Wade, he's managed to get back ahead of the 55 Jesse Whitmore there. Loads of airtime as they come over the curbs there, through the bus stop, up into midgets. So just get everybody coming through. There we go, that's the full pack. Everyone's through. Everyone's safely navigated those first turns. So let's keep an eye as they come under my nose here now. Across the start finish line for the first time. The rain is coming down, I can tell you, so it's going to affect. There is some back ends coming out. 37 of Kai Pepperell's done really well to get up into the lead from Arthur Wade, Jesse Whitmore. But I'll tell you what, the rain and the wet track is affecting some of these guys as they come through. I can see that. Trying to get heat in the tyres. You're going to try and follow the line in front of that car in front. A few of the guys getting sideways as they come off of the Haynes loop. I can see that before they attack Johnny's. And I think you can just see on the screen now the rain in certain camera angles shows you how tricky it is for these guys. Such a shame that the rain hasn't held off. But I tell you, Kai Pepperell out front, Arthur Wade in that mix there with Jesse Whitmore, Spencer Trahorn, Travis Rose. That is that chasing pack behind the leader. Everyone tentatively going through. You can see it's been tricky. Excuse me. And they are getting sideways a little bit. Such a shame for the last race of the day. These guys are doing their best to stay in that straight line as 37 off. Kai Pepperell does come underneath with a big move of Spencer Trahor into second, Travis Rose third, Jesse Whitmore fourth, Arthur Wade just dropping back into fifth for the moment. Jaden Shearing, Ethan Hunt, James Finley, Harrison Stacey and Jack Wicks, that makes up our top 10. Max Laval there I think was in 11th place, but no one's full gas. I can see that, very tentative going into Haynes Loop. They've just got to drive within themselves a little bit, but a move there across the corner from the 55 car of Jesse Whitmore, but favour repaid straight away I think from the 41 of Spencer Trahor there. Yeah, definitely come back through as they go over. Ooh, a bit of grass track in there from Arthur Wade I think as he came into the bus stop. And it's hard because you get on the brakes in the bus stop and if he's wet underneath you, you end up just going straight and you end up cutting straight over the top. But this is now a wet race. A lot of these guys will probably not have wet tyres on, so it is a race of concentration now. Driving within your limits. Kai Pepperell still holding that lead from now Jesse Whitmore, Spencer Trahorn and Travis Rose. That is our top 3. Just keep an eye on some of the guys coming through. You can see the screen, the light, we're losing the light outside for sure, but the rain as well is affecting that camera angle we can see there. So that's the 55 and the 41 on screen. So that's the second and third battle between Jesse Whitmore and Spencer Trahorn, and they're keeping it as narrow as they can, and that's why they're taking more curb going through the bus stop now, because if you put more turn into it, you are going to end up coming off of that racing line and potentially losing the back end. So driving with a bit of caution now, the guys taking in plenty of curb as they go through the bus stop primarily. You will see them on curbs as well. The 55 just going wide. Is that the 16 of Travis Rose just moving up the inside as well? Indeed it was, into third place. So Kai Pepperell, Spencer Trahorn, Travis Rose your top 3 from Jesse Whitmore, Arthur Wade, Ethan Hunt, Jaden Shearing just moving up there ahead of Ethan Hunt over that start finish line. James Finley, Harrison Stacey and Jack Wicks, they make up the top 10. Just keeping an eye as the guys all come round Haynes Loop. Oh, and some big contact there in Johnny's. Just saw it out the window. I don't think he caught it on camera. I think that was just trying to bump start the car and get it going again. Yeah, looking to the heavens. We'll see who that was in a moment, but there was a heavens look and some contacts as they came through Johnny's. And again, the conditions playing a big part in that now. That's one you can see them, and again another one off off track at the top there, and as that's the 55 of Jesse Whitmore. It's changing on every corner. That's the issue that we've got now. I think Kai Pepperell is still holding the lead as he comes through Tollies into that home start, but Travis Rose has moved up into a comfortable second at the moment. Jesse Whitmore third. The 41 of Spencer Trahorn is still in fourth. Arthur Way still holding on to fifth at the minute. 54 of Jaden Shear in sixth place. From now, Harrison Stacey, James Finley. I think it was Ethan Hunt that had the problem. The 23 car, he's dropped way back, which is a real shame. But you can see there, that's the 37 of Kai Pepperell. It's going to take some serious track skill and concentration to be able to hold on to these lines now, because you're out front. You've got to keep some gas down. You've got to keep on the pace, but you make one mistake and look like this Travis Rose here right on the back wheels of Kai Pepperell, and has made the move up the inside. Kai Pepperell takes the lead from Travis Rose takes the lead from Kai Pepperell. Nice move there. Oh, somebody just cutting off the bus stop there as well as they came across. Really tricky conditions now. The rain is coming down. Really difficult for these guys, but it is the 16 of Travis Rose that now leads this race from Kai Pepperell. Jesse Whitmore is holding on to that third place at the minute from Spencer Trahorn, and Arthur Way in fifth. And the difficult thing is now you don't have that track traction and the grip in your tyres to be able to push that little bit harder to try and catch up the guys in front. So unfortunately for these guys that are a little bit further down the order, it is a case of just trying to maybe consolidate and think of max points they can get within the boundaries of the drivers around them, as everybody comes under my nose here on the start finish line. We've got about 2.5 minutes plus a lap to go on our event today, the first round of the Forest Edge Kart Club Championship. This is our last race. This is the juniors. Just keeping an eye on the front runners, which is 16 Travis Rose and 37 Kai Pepperell. That's the two there you just caught on screen. Yep, that's the 16 of Travis Rose and 37 of Kai Pepperell in second place, tentatively round the last two turns into the home straight. Jesse Whitmore still holding on to that third place. Not a million miles behind there is the 41 car of Spencer Trahorn, and then a little bit of a gap, a couple of seconds back to Arthur Way, 3 seconds now. He's behind. And they are pushing through Parsons, I have to say, from Tollies into Parsons, and then they're getting on the brakes going into the Haynes Loop. That is the order of the end of this race, as we've got 2 or 3 minutes left to go on this one. Holding on to that fifth place at the moment, and again it's just difficult to try and make any headway on the karts in front of you now, because if you do make that mistake and you do lose traction, you're going to be off, and that's going to be the problem for these guys. So our leaders, as they come through, there is the 16 leader in Travis Rose, and again there's no other real battles going out on track at the moment. Travis Rose has just stolen a couple of seconds now on Kai Pepperell. And in third place, Jesse Whitmore. He's got just over a second on fourth place, Spencer Trahorn. So maybe, just maybe, Spencer Trahorn can get up to challenge Jesse Whitmore. Haynes Loop causing drivers a bit of bother, because they're carrying plenty of speed going from Parsons down in to the Haynes Loop. They've just then got to try and hold on to what they've got as they come through there. So we have a minute. We're going to have a couple of laps left for sure. Our leader is Travis Rose in the 16 kart there. There's not much else. A bit of movement here as they come under, but the problem is I've just seen somebody dive underneath. That was the 28 kart, the 28 Harry Pittman. I'll give him a shout out because he put a move in going into Tollies, which is the last bend full straight. But then you're carrying too much speed and you end up going past the corner, which is exactly what he did, and then the place got taken back. So that just shows you went for the move, did well to get it, but then you just don't have the assistance from the track to help you hold on to that position. So we are going to head into our last lap, just keeping an eye on when the 16 kart of Travis Rose is now starting to pick his way through the back markers. So we are going to have some back markers. The last lap board is going to come out, trying to find on track. Very difficult for everybody now to keep tabs. The field is stretched out, it is jumbled up. It's not a straightforward 1, 2, 3, 4 that we've got going on here. I'm trying to just keep an eye for Travis Rose. Coming under my nose. Did he get in a bit of bother there, Travis Rose? I think he might have done. That's the 58 kart that's come back, but I think it's a back marker that's come back in front of him. I think Travis Rose is still in the lead. He had a bit of bother. that managed to save it. As he comes underneath us for that last lap board, it is Travis Rose from Kai Pepperell, still in second. Just waiting to see who's in that third spot. There's the 55 of Jesse Whitmore. Yep, so that's the front three, and again, it's really strung out now. We've got drivers in all different positions. I think fourth is still Spencer Trahorn from Arthur Way, Jaden Shearing, James Finley, Harrison Stacey, Ethan Cossins and Max Lavelle. I think that's our top 10. We'll confirm that when they do go over the start-finish line for the last time. But it's been really difficult conditions for these guys. But they are driving exceptionally well. They've done really well to see out the race, to not end up on the grass. I don't think we've actually lost any drivers from this race, which is testimony to all these guys and girls in this race for driving with caution, care, and obviously still a bit of throttle and a bit of speed. But I think Travis Rose is going to come round to take the checkered flag in the 16 kart. He bangs the side. It is a win there for the 16 kart of Travis Rose. Kai Pepperell does pick up the second place with, I think, a handful of karts go through. There's the 55 of Jesse Whitmore in third place. So very jumbled there, a lot of back markers in amongst those front 3 or 4 runners, quite difficult to make out. Spencer Trahorn did pick up the 4th place in the end there, just coming through, followed by Arthur Way there in the 47 kart, and 5th place for him. And then there's Jaden Shearing and James Finley come across, Ethan Cossins pretty much together with Harrison Stacey, Ethan Hunt. That's your top 10. Well done to all these drivers for seeing this race out, because those conditions there at the end were really difficult. You could see they were struggling. You could see loads of steering wheel left to right movement just to try and keep the tracks and keep the kart going straight. Max Lavelle, Jack Wicks, Elijah Dush coming through there. Elijah Dush was the last one. I called there in that middle order. So that is our race. Yeah, there you go. Elijah Dush, Alexander Stefanov, Tyler Banks, Alex Roach, Zoe Catet, Tyler Rackham, Jensen Collins. They made up the top 20 runners in that race. And well done to everybody for getting through the race, finishing the race. An amazing effort from them to get through the event and that race, because the karting conditions at the end there were pretty horrific for all of those guys, for all of the drivers. And they did extremely well to see that through. That is for sure. So they'll obviously just have a look and see. I don't think there was any penalties or pending warnings from that race. I think everybody did extremely well to get around and finish that race. And it was a great win in the end for Travis Rose from Kai Pepperell and Jesse Whitmore. Conditions playing a big part. Very difficult to hold on to anything you've got. You know, you try and push that a little bit more, you lose tracks and you're going to lose your position. You're going to end up going backwards. So sometimes sticking with what you have is better than twisting and ending up losing a load of positions. But you can see how difficult it is for the guys. You can see the track is wet now on the replay. You can see how dark it is for the guys on track. And again there, the 16 of Travis Rose, he experienced problems. He lost a couple of places, 2 back markers, but then got it back as that race developed. But again, hats off to everybody in that junior final, and hats off to everybody that's competed today. We've had a terrific race. It's been really enjoyable bringing you the coverage of this first event. Again, the weather played its part, gave us a few headaches at times,